Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. More specifically, welcome back to the spinner wheel, this time featuring wide receiver exchange. If you guys have been in the channel for about a month or two, you might have seen this video right here, which is a quarterback exchange. We did the exact same thing. We had this wheel, and what we did is we spun the wheel 32 times. Every 2 times we spin the wheel, though, we take those quarterbacks and we switch the team. So let's say we landed on Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers. Basically what would happen is that those 2 quarterbacks would swap teams. This time we're doing the exact same thing, except it's going to be with wide receiver number 1. So that means the first wide receiver in this team's lineup. Now if you're like me, you probably didn't know all these wide receivers at first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read all of them out to you just so you can know who they are. I'm actually going to speed this up real quick because this is going to take a while. So let's go. Marquise Brown, Stephon Diggs, AJ Green, Odell Beckham, Courtland Sutton, Will Fuller, Ty Hilton, DJ Chark, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Tyrell Williams, Devontae Parker, Julian Edelman, Brashad Perryman, Juju Smith-Schuster, AJ Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, DJ Moore, Allen Robinson, Amari Cooper, Kenny Golladay, Davante Adams, Cooper Kupp, Adam Thielen, Michael Thomas, Sterling Shepard, Alshon Jeffrey, Tyler Lockett, Deebo Samuel, Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin. So now that I just read out all the wide receivers, it is time to spin the wheel. Just keep in mind, every 2 times I spin the wheel, those 2 I land on will swap teams. So let's start with our first swap. Alright, here comes our first one. This one's going to land on Sterling Shepard, which is actually on the Giants. And he's going to swap with Marquise Brown on the Ravens. Next switch, this one's going to feature Kenny Golladay from the Lions. Golladay from the Lions is going to swap with... This is going to be DJ Moore, and I believe he is on the Panthers. So our next one is going to be Courtland Sutton. Or no, Will Fuller. He's on the Texans. And Will Fuller from the Texans is going to swap with Amari Cooper on the Cowboys. So that's kind of a cool one. And here's our next swap. This one's going to be Ty Hilton from the Colts. Ty Hilton from the Colts is going to swap with... This one is going to be Adam Thielen. He's from the Vikings. Our next one is going to be Mike Evans. Mike Evans, of course, is on the Buccaneers with Tom Brady now. So Mike Evans from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's going to swap with Julio Jones from the Falcons. So that's a rivalry one in a conference. That's going to be a cool one, or a division, I mean. That's a fun one to look out for. Alshon Jeffrey from the Eagles. He's going to swap with, hopefully, another division one would be cool. Oh, close, actually. Deebo Samuel from South Carolina is going to swap with Alshon Jeffrey. They're both South Carolina. That's actually kind of cool. Tyreek Hill, or no, Keenan Allen. So Allen is from the Chargers, and he is going to swap with Davante Adams from the Packers. That's a fun one. Next one up, we're going to have Devontae Parker on the Miami Dolphins. All right, Devontae Parker, he's going to swap places with no other than Cooper Kupp on the LA Rams. So next one's going to be Tyreek Hill. Yep, Tyreek Hill just barely from the Kansas City Chiefs. He's going to swap with Stephon Diggs, which is on the Bills now. So that's a cool one. Our next one is going to be AJ Green on the Bengals. AJ Green from the Bengals is going to switch with Julian Edelman from the New England Patriots. Alright, we're only down to a few now. DJ Chark, I believe he is on the Jaguars. DJ Chark from the Jacksonville Jaguars is going to switch with Tyrell Williams on the Raiders. That's a really boring one, to be honest. 2 not really known receivers, although Chark is pretty underrated. Juju, one of the most known, is going to swap with... It's going to be Tyler Lockett from the... What is that? The Seahawks? Yes, we're down to like 6 more. We have Terry McLaurin. He is from the Washington Redskins. So Terry McLaurin from the Redskins is going to swap with AJ Brown from the Titans. Down to 3 more swaps, I believe. We're going to have DeAndre Hopkins from the Cardinals. And he is going to swap places with... It could be a good one. Nope, it's going to be Brashad Perryman. He is from the Jets. That's one that a lot of people don't know. So that's a sucky one for DeAndre Hopkins. Allen Robinson from the Bears. We have 1 more switch left after this. He's going to swap with Courtland Sutton from the Broncos. So we have 1 swap left, and this is actually a cool one. It's Michael Thomas and Odell Beckham, both being from pretty decent teams. Well, actually, no, the Browns are the best team. Well, they're pretty decent wide receivers. Saints, Michael Thomas, and Browns for Odell Beckham. So now that we have all the swaps, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a franchise mode in Madden. I'm going to do all these real quick, and we're going to play out the season. We're going to see how well these wide receivers do on their new team. So let's go. Alright, here we are in franchise mode. I did all the transactions between all the wide receivers, and now let's take a recap of all the receivers that we have on their new team. So let's go ahead and go to our roster, and let's take a look at everything. Now, some of the receivers on other teams were not as good as others, which means that they're probably not going to be their starting wide receiver for the new team they're on. But let's just go through all the wide receivers, starting with the Bears, Courtland Sutton, and then going on to the Bengals, Julian Edelman. Bills have Tyreek Hill. Broncos have Allen Robinson. Browns have Michael Thomas, 99 overall. Buccaneers have Julio Jones, that's a good one. Cardinals have Larry Fitzgerald. Oh, actually, no, that's the new starting one. But they now have Rashad Perryman, who's their wide receiver number 3. See, that's what I'm saying. He's not going to be the starting receiver on the Cardinals. The Chargers have Davante Adams, 94 overall. Chiefs got Stephon Diggs. Colts, Adam Thielen. Cowboys got Will Fuller V. Dolphins got Cooper Kupp. Eagles got, well, who's it? It is it's Deebo Samuel. There it is. Deshaun Jackson, new starting wide receiver. Falcons got Mike Evans, good one. 49ers got Alshon Jeffrey. Giants got, who is it? I think it's Marquise Hollywood Brown. Jaguars got Tyrell Williams from the Raiders. Jets got DeAndre Hopkins, 98 overall. Lions got, I think it's DJ Moore from the Carolina Panthers. Packers got Keenan Allen. Panthers got Kenny Golladay. Patriots got AJ Green. Raiders got DJ Chark Jr. from the Jaguars. Rams got Devontae Parker from the Dolphins. Ravens got Sterling Shepard from the Giants. Redskins got AJ Brown, Titans. Saints got Odell Beckham Jr., 90 from the Browns. Seahawks got Juju Smith-Schuster, of course, from the Steelers. And the Steelers got Tyler Lockett. Texans got Amari Cooper. Titans got Terry McLaurin from the Washington Redskins. Vikings got Ty Hilton. And I think that is it. Bears, Courtland Sutton. I think we went through the entire cycle. So that's the 32 wide receivers on their new team. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a simulation up to week 8, and we're going to see how well these wide receivers do on their new team. So let's go. Okay, it's mid-season, week 8. Let's take a look at how our wide receivers are doing so far. Bears are leading the NFC North. Of course, we always got to take a look at the standings. These are always funny to look at. I'm not going to take too long this time. Broncos are 8-0. Bears, Patriots, Bengals, Ravens, 1-loss teams right there. Let's take all the way down to the bottom. As you can see, some more teams in the middle with the basic records. And then we have the Raiders, 0-7. Vikings 1-7, Steelers 1-6, Rams have 2 wins at 2-6. So those are our standings. But more importantly, let's take a look at our wide receivers. This is the cool part. But we also want to take a look at the quarterbacks to see how well they are passing to their new wide receivers. So let's go ahead and take a look at our receiving yards. And we have, this is just the Bears. I was a little confused for a second. I thought Anthony Miller was leading the NFL. Let's go up to the NFL real quick. Where's it at? It's right here. Okay. So we see that Stephon Diggs from the Kansas City Chiefs, or originally from the Bills, is leading with 8 touchdowns and 656 yards, and pretty good. Golden Tate, who's actually wasn't even switched at all. He's just on the Giants. He was the second wide receiver from the Giants. He's up there with 7 touchdowns. Ty Hilton on the Vikings, only 1 touchdown, but a lot of yards. Keenan Allen, probably the best receiver, I would say, who has 570 yards and 10 touchdowns. We can take a look down some more. Terry McLaurin, Odell Beckham, Tyler Lockett, Mike Evans, D.D. Westbrook, another wide receiver who wasn't switched at all, as long as Adam Humphries, KJ Hamler, which is actually not even a real player, Michael Thomas, and whoa, I can't even pronounce that, Alshon Jeffrey, a lot of people we don't even know. So as you can see, Julio Jones is down there, but a lot of random wide receivers are up here. It's kind of weird. We can go down a little bit further too, as we can see some of the more ones we switched. Deshaun Jackson, let's see, can we go down more? Maybe we'll find some more. AJ Green and the Patriots. I'm not really finding a lot of switches. It's kind of funny. It's just a lot of our receivers that are, have already been on these teams. Julian Edelman, Will Fuller, Tyreek Hill and the Bills. As you can see, they're all up there. They all have over, 300 yards. But I would say the best wide receiver so far is probably, what's his name, Keenan Allen on the Green Bay Packers. Let's take a look at our, of course, passing real quick, because we want to see how well these quarterbacks are doing to these wide receivers. Ryan Tannehill, Matt Ryan, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, it's basically the quarterbacks that have the receivers up there. As you can see, Stephon Diggs with the Chiefs is up there with Patrick Mahomes on the Chiefs. And of course, Keenan Allen with the Packers is up there with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So it all makes sense. But let's go ahead and simulate past these another 8 weeks. And let's see how far we can go with these receivers again. Okay, so we made it all the way to week 17, the final week of play. Let's take a look at our standings once again. The Bears lead the NFC North 13-3, kind of crazy. Patriots, Seahawks, Bears, Ravens, Cowboys, Browns, Saints, Chiefs, Broncos, and Texans, Packers, Falcons. Those are our playoff teams. Let's take a look all the way down the bottom. Let's see our worst team, and we have a 2-14 Dolphins, 3-13 Vikings, Steelers, Rams. Those are our worst teams. But once again, we got to take a look at these wide receivers. How well did they do through 17 or 16 weeks of play? So here's the NFL, and actually surprisingly, Golden Tate, who didn't have a single switch, who was just on the Giants the entire time, led the NFL with 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. However, I do not think he's the best receiver, considering that Keenan Allen broke 100 receptions, 1,300 yards, and 16 touchdowns. So I think the winner, or basically the best wide receiver in this video, has to be Keenan Allen with Aaron Rodgers. Odell Beckham is up there now. Stephon Diggs, pretty good too. 14 touchdowns, 1,150 yards. Julio Jones made up there. Tyreek Hill, Allen Robinson, D.D. Westbrook, Michael Thomas, Sterling Shepard, Jarvis Landry, Tyrell Williams. As you can see, there's wide receivers everywhere that we switch. Let's take a look at the bottom. Do we have any switches down here that were from the video, not actual set, or on the same teams? I don't really see any. Davante Adams actually not too hot on the Chargers. DJ Chark is all the way down there too. Juju Smith-Schuster not the best year as well. And I think that's as far as we can go. Actually, no, Mike Evans with only 700, which is kind of surprising. Matt Ryan, I feel like you should be able to get some darts to Mike Evans here. Courtland Sutton. As you can see, there's some switches way down here that we had in the video. They didn't really do much. Derrick Henry actually has 650 receiving yards with 6 touchdowns, and that's more than Hollywood Brown. That's kind of funny. And let's take a look at, once again, our quarterbacks. How well did they do? So it's Ryan Tannehill leading the pack again, 4,500 yards. However, once again, I think the Packers' Aaron Rodgers is probably the best this time around. 4,500 yards as well with 15 touchdowns. Or no, that's 15 picks. 40 touchdowns. Pretty good season, but 15 picks is actually a lot for Aaron Rodgers. You go down to Baker Mayfield, pretty good. Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Cam Newton. As you can see, Daniel Jones actually up there. Drew Brees. So this is all the receivers and all the quarterbacks, how well they did. How about that Cam Newton, the newly signed Patriot, going 14-2, and that's kind of crazy actually. Our last video, which was Cam Newton, the Patriots, how well did they do? They didn't even do as close to good as this. You gotta watch the video to find out. But Cam Newton goes 14-2 in this video, kind of crazy, and wins MVP. Patrick Mahomes, runner-up. Ryan Tannehill going 8-8. Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Mitch Trubisky, Deshaun Watson, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, and Phillip Rivers. So only quarterbacks in the MVP race this year. Kind of crazy. This year's Super Bowl features the Seattle Seahawks and the Texans. What are they from? Houston Texans. Okay. I don't really think there's any cool receivers in this Super Bowl. I think it's Juju Smith-Schuster, and I do not remember. Actually, I think it's Amari Cooper. Yeah, it's Amari Cooper versus Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm guessing they really didn't help that much. Let's just go ahead and see who wins this Super Bowl. I'm going to put my bets on the Seattle Seahawks, considering they're just that good. Juju Smith-Schuster's not going to help them that much. I was way off, considering the Texans actually kill the Seahawks, win 42-21. So that is today's video. Thank you guys for watching. As we figured out, Keenan Allen is the best receiver on his new team. This is what would happen if we swapped every receivers with a new team. And the results kind of funny, but once again, it's always cool to see this. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.